Hey guys, welcome back to the penultimate, so sad, Freddie King lesson, okay? And we're gonna do more of the solo, so there's a few more licks to get down. We'll save another lick also for the last lesson when we put it all together, but today we've got some big minor licks. So Freddie King chooses this moment to kind of switch into minor. It's a sound you're just gonna get used to over a particular part of this progression. It really sits beautifully with the minor. So we'll get into all of that. So pick up your guitars and let's get started. Just a quick one, guys, before we carry on, if you haven't already, please go over to the website where you can find access to the full course, including the interactive tab, the write-ups, the backing tracks, all the fretboard diagrams, the entire thing, the way it should be viewed. Head on over there via the link in the description. All right, so this lick, or these licks that we're gonna do now, start like this. Oh, ha. Okay, so we're just gonna do those, right? So I'll do it again. So we're messing around a lot now with this minor pentatonic. We're really working with that minor pentatonic in D. So of course we would have worked with the chord there, okay? And knowledge that underneath that, we've got that box one. And interestingly as well, underneath that, we're now with this kind of, we're gonna be moving into a different part of the progression, okay? So we're gonna be moving, so if up to the last point, we ended with this kind of, and then we're gonna go. Okay, so we're now interested in moving over the part of the progression where we come to the D major and this B7. Now, it really works super well to play this D minor pentatonic over those. It's kind of a peculiar one, actually. So if you play the chords, okay. Now, where I'm at with that in my mind is that I'm moving to minor because we're creating a fair bit of tension with that secondary dominant, the B7, right? So the D is obviously the D, and D blues, that's very nice. You can use your D minor over that, great. But the B7 is quite far along from that D minor pentatonic. It doesn't really fit nicely particularly, but it's creating specific tension that's going to get resolved. And that D minor is therefore perfect because if you just think of it on a core, tension and release scale, the minor has that more aggressive, I want some tension kind of sound. So it's a great time to try and use it rather than a sweet, sweet tones of the major, which are going to clash a little bit perhaps. So that's why in my mind anyway. It's something you also get used to, like when you go from that kind of G to the dominant and then back to that D, at that point of the progression, it just sounds great. Freddie King does it all the time. Lots of the blues guys do it all the time. So it's something you also just get used to doing. So let's have a look at that lick. So I'm really trying to build this Freddie King dynamism here. So I'm gonna start with just this little throwaway. Dun, dun. I love that. So simple. Just like a staccato in that minor pentatonic. And then I'm gonna absolutely crush this bend, okay? Make sure when you're doing that bend, you're really putting all three fingers behind it. You're getting a good grip on it like that, and you're getting loads of vibrato. Okay? So we hit that bend, it soars into the sky over that D. Okay, which is perfect. We're bending up to that D. Really sounding crystal clear there as to what we're up to. And then we're going to make this aggressive stance. So we're then going to have instead of the bend, we're just going to bring the bend back down, but don't hear it come down. From there, we're going to jump to the bend on the G string. Okay, down to 12, little quarter bend on the 10, and hit the root note of D. Okay, so we got lovely sounding lick, super, super nice lick. Again, work with that manipulation of the bends. Don't obsess as to whether you're hitting an exact half step, quarter bend, tone. It doesn't matter too much, to be honest. You're just manipulating the sound of it, making it sound vocal, using that staccato effect again. We talked about this in Unit 1. So rather than, we got, it's quite kind of dotty, and you're hitting it really hard with your right hand, okay? Then the next lick. So again, more manipulation of that same minor pentatonic scale. So I'm just going to do a really slow bend on that 12. Then I'm going to kind of hard hammer on into the 12 again. Okay, and you can even start to do a little bend again there. So you do a big bend. Okay. If that makes sense. So we've kind of got, again, another manipulation of the bends, more of those ideas. And this is why the solo can be quite hard to get down, because it's all kind of the same at points. Like we said up here, there's a lot of similarities in some of those licks, and the same here. It's just very, very vocal. The phrasing is the best I've ever heard. You know, it's like he's singing it, okay, essentially. And when you're singing it, you don't need loads of notes. You might just need more words, you know, different sentences, but you don't need loads of different notes. And the same applies here. And he's using a lot of the similar notes, but making it count with the dynamics, you know, the way he just manipulates them slightly different way round, bit more with the bends, bit less with the bends, these kind of things. So those two licks together are like this. And if we put them over the track so far, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam, 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 bam. E. That's where we need to get to. So, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll do that again. Remember, it can be manipulated. It doesn't have to be exactly that timing. D. Okay, so D. Okay, so that's where we're at with it, okay, guys? We've got 2 more licks. Let's now put everything we've done so far together. And again, this time what we can do, now we're getting quite far through it, is I can actually put on the backing track so we can hear and play along to that bit, okay? So this is where it gets quite exciting. Now again, remember with the backing track, if you head on over to the website, you can go to the YJ Club or download the course and you'll get slower versions of the track, or you can manipulate, you can slow it down. I'm using manipulate a lot today, but you can slow it down by the interactive tab as well to do it at your speed. But we're going to do it at the full pace of the backing track for the moment. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the first lick. Next one. We are, okay? That's where we're at. Let's now do it maybe a slightly slower version of that. So let's go down to, let's try this one. A little bit slower. I don't know if you heard that, but I kind of changed that last bit a little bit. And you know what? That's okay. This is Freddie King. I wouldn't expect you to play the same thing twice. I'm going to drill that home to you guys. As soon as you can, get the licks down, try and play them along with me just for little cues. But after that, go to the interactive tab via the YJ Club and remove me and just play along to that jam track at whatever speed you like. That's where you're going to start embedding these ideas. So we've got one more lesson, a few more licks, and we'll put it all together for you. All right, that's it for this lesson. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out the next lesson, you will be able to find it here. If you want to start from the beginning of the playlist, you can find that here. Massive appreciation. Please do like and share this content with all of your guitar friends. I'll see you next time.